Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas Jayhawks Dynasty mode here in episode 21 as we face off against one of the newest members in the Big 12 Conference, being the SMU Mustangs. Now, if you guys caught the live stream for the offseason the past month, you guys would have seen that Houston and SMU both made the jump to the Big 12 Conference, becoming their first seasons in a Power 5 conference. And now, while both teams have struggled to get anything going in their first years, these matchups have not been a blow-by game. SMU has a very talented roster led by quarterback Tanner Mordecai and receiver Rashee Rice. Both of these guys are a dynamic duo that can easily win this team some games if they play at their top-tier level. The Jayhawks need to snap their two-game losing streak this week before they fall to 3-4 on the season. And they have a chance today to do that in SMU Stadium at Gerald J. Ford Stadium as we look to get underway in a massive matchup that has bowl implications for this Kansas Jayhawks team, as Jason Borsia will lead us onto the field today despite being injured last week. But before that, TJ McDaniel for the Mustangs returns at 26 yards and Rashee Rice comes out, the senior receiver who's had himself an excellent campaign. Now on 1st and 10, Mordecai out of the shotgun. It's a screen to Rice, and he's got nowhere to go. Lucky to get maybe 1 yard on the play, setting up an early 3rd and 9. Mordecai has had a decent season this year, but obviously nowhere near the talent or the opportunities that they expected him to, as he loses 8 on the play. Rich Miller and company force a 3-and-out, and here come your Jayhawks on 1st and 10. It's going to be a jet sweep to Luke Grimm. He's able to get about 5. And the running game has struggled so much, I've continued to look at ways to just diversify the offense and just try our best to get the running game going, as you'll see Luke Grimm get the first down on 3rd and 4 with a 9-yard reception. But the running game's just been so unreliable, as you'll see here. Velton Gardner on the outside, 7 yards on the play. That was one of his only good runs of the day. The rest of the day, he barely was able to get past the line of scrimmage. Now, 2nd and 3, though. Jason Bean finds Trevor Wilson down the field. That's going to be about 15 on the play. And that would bring up a 1st and goal where we do the inside zone to Gardner for a 6-yard touchdown run. What an excellent blocking there for this offensive line. They've struggled all year long, and it's about time they get us a nice little blocking scheme up the middle that goes and breaks free for a touchdown. But Mordecai in the SMU offense was ready to get back onto the field. 1st and 10, he's got his tight end Ben Redding for 11 yards right across the middle. That one's a little too easy if you're this Jayhawks defense. That put us at a 2nd and 6 a few plays later. Mordecai going outside, and his man Calvin Wiggins, 3-yard catch, but he falls out of bounds, and that would bring up a 3rd and 3. Mordecai gives it to Levine, but he's brought down by Gavin Potter. Tyler Levine. This offense really doesn't run it much, so they would settle for a long 50-yard field goal. That was not even close, but the Jayhawks offense struggles continue. 3rd and 9 quickly on the next drive. Jason Bean last second heave downfield, and he finds his man Trevor Cardell, the sure-handed tight end there. But 2nd and 8 now. Jason Bean launching it into the flats, and he's going to get about 1 on the play. Had to throw that one before he got sacked. Now a 3rd and 7 with 2 minutes remaining. Jason Bean out of the center position, rolling out, looking to throw, and he's going to get hit. He fumbles it and leaves it on the ground as the Mustangs recover it. What a big turn of events there, as SMU has a chance to tie it once again. 2nd and 9, a little over a minute remains in the quarter as Tyler Levine tries to push the man off of him, and he will set themselves up for a 3rd and 2 now. As Mordecai remains in the shotgun, he's going to give it to Levine. He's got plenty of room, and he makes a man miss all the way down the field after 25 yards. They find themselves at about the 23-yard line. Now 3rd and 2, 19 seconds and counting. Mordecai, last second heave, and he drops it. Could have easily been a 1st down, but the receiver could not make the catch, and instead they settle for a late quarter field goal. Chance to bring the lead down to 4, and they will do just that. as that one goes right through the upright. Now 3rd and 8 on the next Jayhawks possession. This offense loved to get to third downs today. Bean looking downfield, and he misses a wide open man. And another punt for one of these teams. There were so many of those today, and it was insane to see how many punts there were. Mordecai, though, on the next possession, had a man open on the slant, but another drop pass, and he's already 4 of 8. Now 3rd and 15 for the Mustangs. Mordecai, a screen play to Levine. Not enough blocking or room to get upfield, and that's going to be a loss or a gain of 5. But still a 4th and 10. 2nd and 4 on the next Jayhawks possession. Bean out of the shotgun, looking to throw. Got a man deep. It's deflected, almost intercepted by Isaiah Nwakobia. He had another great deflection earlier. This one's a good one as well, as Stephen McBride is able to get a 6-yard first down as we are in the second quarter now. And Jason Bean struggled to get consistent today, but he had a decent overall game. As you'll see, this guy almost intercepted the pass. That was Brandon Crossley trying to jump the route, and he barely missed that one. Now Jason Bean on 2nd and 10 gives it to Gardner, who fumbles it again, and Chapman again recovers it. The quick hands once again by this defense to be on top of it as soon as it goes down. 2nd and 6 for Mordecai after the fumble. Going outside, almost intercepted by Jonquay Lewis. That brings us to a 3rd and 6. Mordecai out of the shotgun. He's got Levine right beside him to his left. Going in motion now is Levine. It's a pass play, going deep, and he's intercepted. Deuce Mayberry, we saw last week a dropped interception led to a touchdown. But this time, Deuce Mayberry just goes out there and says, I got this for the team right now, as he gets his 2nd interception of the season. 2nd and 6 now, though. Jason Bean outside finds James Smith for 11 yards on a nice stop-and-go route. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 a few plays later. Bean rolling out, finds his man Grimm, who breaks a tackle, trying to make another man miss, and he just barely gets brought down. Now 3rd and 8. Despite the momentum, this offense struggled to stay consistent. Jason Bean on 3rd and 8, looking downfield, and he misses his man, and another field goal upcoming for this Jayhawks offense as it goes right through the middle of the uprights. And we take a 7-point lead once again. 2nd and 6 now with 2:53 left in the half. Mordecai trying to roll out, and he's going to get sacked for a loss of 5 there. That would bring up a 3rd and 11. Tanner Mordecai in this offense needs something here. Out of the shotgun. Got his man Nolan Matthews, but he cannot turn upfield. And that would be another punt in this game. Jason Bean now on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, and he's sacked. Big hit, lucky to hold on to the ball. And the Jayhawks will be forced again to punt, as you will see Reese Vernon had a decent punt there, but TJ McDaniel breaks tackles and is able to bring it back to the 40. Now a minute remains in the half. Mordecai and his offense sit right past midfield at about the 45 as Mordecai gets hit hard and just sandwiched between 2 defenders. Now 3rd and 1. He does find Rashee Rice for his 1st or 2nd catch of the day. He was bottled up pretty much the entire game, but 2nd and 13 now with 10 seconds left. Mordecai tries to run it in. He had some space on the outside. Missed tackle, but he gets stood up by Kenny Logan Jr. And they will go into halftime only down by 4 now after the excellent field goal with a 10-6 game right now in SMU Stadium. The Jayhawks offense just needs one big play to seal the deal on this one early with how inefficient this SMU offense has been. But Devin Neal couldn't break the screen free. Now it's 2nd and 8 for Jason Bean. Looking downfield to throw. Nowhere to go, and he's sacked. He retreated to escape the pressure, and that will bring up a 3rd and 22. Play action. He has to roll out again. He's under pressure again. Looking downfield. He's going to lob it across the middle, and he's got Cardell. Trevor Cardell down the field for a big about 30-yard gain. Now 3rd and 9, though. Give it to Gardner up the middle. He's only able to get about 5, so the Mustangs survive that drive. Tanner Mordecai now on 1st and 10 with Levine in motion. He's going to fake it. It's a read option. and he's got nowhere to go as Keenan Caldwell and Romello Dotson bring him down as a loss of about 2. Now 3rd and 3, Mordecai gives it to Levine, pushing forward, and they're gonna mark him in front of the line. Apparently he got about 4 yards on the play. I don't know how I felt about that one, but now it's 3rd and 16 after some penalties and a sack, and Mordecai trying to roll out, and Rich Miller continues his dominant season with a big sack there. 3.5 minutes remain in the third as Jason Bean tries to throw it outside, but it just goes straight into the dirt. Now 3rd and 11 with 3:04 remaining. Jason Bean out of the shotgun, a double back set, rolling out, looking downfield, and he's got Trevor Wilson for 23. Now 3rd and 8 on the play. Now Jason Bean gives it to Velt, and Gardner nowhere to go. This offensive line's just pitiful if you ask them to block for more than half a second, as Jacob Borsia will kick this one right through the uprights, and we will take a touchdown lead once again. And that puts all the pressure on this SMU defense to finally, or this SMU offense to finally get something going, as Nolan Matthews gets 5 yards on the play. They have not been able to stay consistent or get anything going on this offensive side of the ball. 3rd and 7 now. It's supposed to be a screen read perfectly by this Jayhawks offense and defense, and they get the ball back with 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Now Jason Bean out of the shotgun, under pressure, dumps it to Gardner. Beautiful spin move, breaking another tackle as he just fights forward for 14 yards. Now 3rd and 3 for this offense. Jason Bean calling some audibles. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw, firing downfield, and it's almost intercepted by Nwakopia again. And that gave the Mustangs another chance. 13-6 still the score as they pitch it out to Tyler Levine. Got about 10 on the play, but they mark him short of the line to gain. 2nd and inches now a few plays later, though. This one's a read option by Mordecai. He's carrying that ball very loosely as he's able to run forward for about 10 yards on the play. Now 2nd and 3 with about 5:17 remaining. Mordecai, another read option. This time he's got nowhere to go as Rich Miller brings him down for a loss of 4. 3rd and 6 now. 4:53 and counting remaining. Mordecai tries to scramble again. Got a little bit of room, but that sets him up for a 4th and 6 after a penalty. A false start by the offense. 4th and 6, Mordecai looking to throw, going downfield, and it's broken up by our great safety, Kenny Logan Jr. He was late in coverage, but he got there at exactly the right time, and any type of points here can essentially end it. 2nd and 7, Bean rolling out, looking to throw, and he's got Trevor Cardell at the last second for 14 yards. 2nd and 6 now. Later down the field, looking to just run the clock down with a run up the middle for 2 yards as they will try a long 47-yard field goal. Borsia made one from this distance last week. Now he's going to snap it back, looking to get the field goal here on 4th and 2. This could end the game as they wind the clock down. Jacob Borsia breathing heavy, looking to get the points to go. Fires it downfield, and it's just wide right. Had the distance, but SMU remains alive. Tanner Mordecai on 1st and 10. Tries to run, and he runs right into the open arms of Keenan Caldwell with a big 5-yard loss there. 2nd and 15. Mordecai out of the shotgun again. Looking downfield, takes it himself again, breaking tackles into the first down line and more. Big play there as Mordecai is leaving it all out on the field. Now out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10 after an incomplete pass. Mordecai looking to throw, nowhere to go. Got me rhyming out here once again as Keenan Caldwell brings them down in the backfield. 3rd and 16 now. Mordecai down the field. Calvin Wiggins has to come back to catch that one, and that's a 2-yard reception. 4th and 14 now for the game. If they don't make it here, it's absolutely over. A minute left. Mordecai looking downfield, gets hit as he throws it, and it's broken up by Romello Dotson and Jonquay Lewis. big play there. Could have intercepted it, but you're really all right as you see the Jayhawks just have to run it one more time as we get our 4th win of the season in an amazing defensive effort. Neither offense could really get going in this one. Final score is 13-6 as the Mustangs were too bad for this Jayhawks defense. As you see, Rashee Rice struggled today, only 2 receptions for 14 yards. In an outstanding defensive performance, as you see Keenan Caldwell with 3 sacks on the day. That's not including Rich Miller and others who got multiple sacks as well. Excellent way to go to 4-3 on the season as head coach Smeems can almost smell the bowl game this year as we hope to win the 2 of the next 4 games and hit that 6-win mark after finishing 5-7 last year. Can we do that? We'll have to see as we go into the next few episodes. But before we do that, I showed you guys a few matchups last week that were interesting, so let's go check those out. And I figured we could go look around at the statistics so far through the season and see what this team's like and exactly what the schedule has remaining for us as we go forward after this matchup. And as you guys can see, this game statistically was actually pretty bad. 19 of 29, 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was just kind of out there throwing it, hoping to get lucky. And I mean, the running game, absolutely terrible. 16 of 24, 1.5 yards per carry and 1 touchdown. Devin Neal, same stuff, 6 for 14, 2.3 and no touchdowns. And Jason Bean, he just got sacked so many times. The receiving guys did all right for what they were able to get. I mean, you can't really blame too much on them. Defensively is really the only reason we won this game. Keenan Caldwell with the 3 sacks. Rich Miller had 2. Wheeler had 1. I mean, these guys just played all out. You see Taylor had 2. Caleb Taylor, that is. And then Deuce Mayberry, of course, with the interception. So, I mean, this was a tough game to win, but when you've got Tanner Mordecai, didn't even reach 100 yards passing, and then their run game was pretty decent for them, you expect it to be as close as it is when both defenses are doing fairly good in this game. And, I mean, you'll see here, overall, how many sacks? Does it tell you sacks on here? Of course, it won't tell you total sacks, but, I mean, we had close to 10 sacks on Tanner Mordecai, so, I mean, there's only, 5 scoring plays in this entire game. So that's just a tough pill to swallow for this offense as we go into a few key matchups that I want to look at because the next couple weeks aren't going to be easy. You guys think, 2 wins out of the next few games, that should be absolutely the easiest thing ever, but we play 5 ranked teams straight. 5 of them. Number 8 TCU next episode, number 14 Texas, 21 Oklahoma State, 19 Texas Tech, and 22 Kansas State to round out the season. And we've got to win 2 of these games. Now, if we had been able to pull off that win against Oklahoma or against West Virginia, I would say maybe we can win 1 of these, but 2 of these games is going to be very difficult, especially considering how good these teams have been this year. Our best bet at this point is probably Oklahoma State. We beat them last year in a very close late game heroic matchup, but TCU has been dominant all season long. I think their only loss came to a ranked team in Texas. And I mean, they've beat Oklahoma, they've beat all these other teams. They just dominated SMU 48-0. And I'm worried that we might not be able to make a bowl game. If we had to choose 2 of these games to win, you've got to think it's Oklahoma State and Texas because Texas Tech just had our number last year. Kansas State, you just don't know in a rivalry game. And then TCU, I mean, they just might be too good for us to even beat. So it's going to be a tough pill to swallow if we're going to do this good early on in the season and still not be able to make a bowl game. I mean, you see, we're still sitting at the very bottom of our division in the conference, 2-2. Technically tied with Kansas State, but I mean, Oklahoma won again. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Texas are all better than us in the conference. Only teams worse than us are on the other side of the conference. That's West Virginia, Baylor, SMU, and Houston. Wish we maybe could have played Baylor this year too because, you know, they're pretty bad. But what are you going to do? And I mean, statistically, This season obviously hasn't been that great for Jason Bean. He's 113 out of 183, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. We did have Conrad Hawley come in for that little bit there, 23 of 37, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And Ben Easters, he's just not ready to play. I mean, 8 of 13, 102 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's just not even ready at all. Velton Gardner at 135 for 424 and 7 touchdowns. He's had a very difficult season all year long. He's not going to be anywhere near 1,000 yards rushing this year because he's just not able to get open like that. And Trevor Wilson so far through these 7 games leads us in receiving or receptions and touchdowns. Yeah, he's leading us in 3 touchdowns for the season, but receiving yards has to go to Mr. Luke Grimm. He has, man, that's crazy. He's got 8 less catches than Trevor Wilson, but he leads the receiving yard total with 472. That is insane this few games into the season, but only 1 touchdown. Trevor Cardell is second, and Stephen McBride probably not going to be able to fulfill that promise that we did playing him so many times, or however many snaps we did promise him, because I didn't expect James Smith to come in at an 82 overall, but 220 receptions, 299 yards, and 2 touchdowns for James Smith is good for his first year with the team. Defensively, Deuce Mayberry, 2 interceptions, and a few guys with 1. You've got sacks, Keenan Caldwell with 5 on the season, Steven Parker, Caleb Taylor, Tywan Berryhill, Rich Miller, and a few guys with 1, but excellent outing by the sophomore Keenan Caldwell. I'm excited to see what he can really turn into next year. And before we wrap up this 21st episode, which, by the way, I'm so excited that we've been able to get this series all the way to 21, just a little bit of a recruiting update. We haven't really had many big breakthroughs. You guys saw last episode the few guys that committed, the 2 tight ends and whatnot. We are actually recruiting this running back, Willie Allen. He's a very fast guy. He'd be great to add to the team. Bryson Gay, we're putting points into him just because we had extra leftover points, but I mean, we're fine at tight end right now with those 2 guys that committed. Then you've got guys like Franklin Holmes, Dwayne Hayden and Franklin Holmes. They're not great, but it's kind of in a situation where you just want depth on your offensive line with how bad they've played. Like, Dane Lewis is probably the biggest player we could get this offseason or in this recruiting class. Then we've got Maurice Johnson, Joe Colvin, Calvin Lane, Lee Pope, Ross Rushing committed, obviously. Chris Mosley did end up committing. I don't know if you guys saw that last episode, but we're also hoping to get Ryan Harris in on this committing or in this recruiting class. And then we've got the 3 athletes. We've fallen down on a good bit of them, but I think once we get the visit to come in for these 2 guys right here, we're going to be able to catch up on a lot of that points that we're down on. And overall, this is just looking to be a decent recruiting class. We've already got a good bit of guys. We probably aren't too high. We're 100th right now because we've got 4 3-stars committed. So we aren't going to have a great recruiting class once again, but it's realistic. Kansas never really has an amazing recruiting class. Mid-Tennessee State has the 10th best class in the country. That is interesting. They have 2 5-star recruits. That's a very interesting outcome there. But I think this recruiting class will improve once we're able to get in some of these guys that are better, but we're just down on waiting for the visit. So hopefully none of them lock us out before that matchup or before those visits we can get them to. So that's basically all the updates I've got for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching all of these episodes. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe because this series has done great so far on my channel, and I just hope that you guys enjoy it. Comment down below if you guys think we can make a bowl game because I'm starting to head towards maybe not because, like I said, it's going to be difficult to win 2 of those 5 games. Let me know how you guys feel about the future of this series and this season in general. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time as we take on number 8 TCU.